It is a genuine and absolute privilege and honor to be here with Hasnaa Talib. She's an amazing person. She is an exponential woman. She is an entrepreneur, an academic. She has built businesses. She's a financial trader. She is basically one of those amazing people that you look at and you always wonder, wow, how can she achieve all of this in such a short period of time? And today, our privilege is to actually be sitting here in our studios with her to talk to her about her journey, about her future, and how she's impacting the world and making a difference. And this is where I feel genuinely involved in bringing this to you. Hasnaa, real welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here, and I'm so happy to be sharing my story with you and with everybody else.
Can we just step back into your early stages of your life? Was there a person who inspired you? Was there a moment that really was a catalyst for you and you said, this is what I must do in my life?
Well, when you're at a very young age, and I talk from my experience, when I was like 17 and 18, or maybe before that, even at the age of 15, 16, you really don't know what you have to do and what you don't, right? And especially if there is no sort of guidance that is given to you by, let's say, by your parents, your family, or by the environment that you are at. That was my case. At that time, I was doing things. My biggest, let's say, person that inspired me a lot was my mother, but I just didn't know why. The only reason that I was so inspired by her is because she was a strong woman. She would take care of us. She would always support us in whatever we want to do. But what do we want to do? That's what I had to figure out by myself. And all I knew is that I wanted to be independent. I didn't want to depend on my parents. And I didn't want to be like anybody else. So you're super young. You're a woman, you're a girl, so many traditions. I was living in Morocco at that time, coming from a very decent, normal family. So what do I have to do to become that exception in my family? All I had at that time is studying and education. So that's why you find me like loving education a lot. I mean, I would go do my bachelor's, master's, try to do a lot of trainings, get involved into my PhD, and so on and so forth. Because I believe that the only thing that has saved me at that time was education. So that's the only thing I knew at that time, and that's what I kept on doing. Until one day I figured from a professor who was telling us that there is a potential for you to get to participate in a space camp, which was done by NASA, and then to be able to go to the US. So if you get to finish the whole program in the US for 3 months, you'll be selected to get a scholarship and to study for free. So that was my goal at that time. I said, hell, I have to go to the US no matter what. That was crazy. Like you're in the middle of somewhere and people are just, have you ever been in a place where people are talking about the moon, about the rockets, about the black holes, about... And I'm just like, where did I put myself? How am I going to get away with it, right?
Yeah. But I think that is where probably you grew the greatest,
yeah.
grew the most, because you were outside your comfort zone. And that's what a lot of young people need to be able to understand, and a lot of parents need to be able to understand, is that we have to put our children in a space where they are uncomfortable, because that's where they actually grow.
I think that's 100% correct, and I think that's where success comes from. You have to throw yourself out there. I put myself in a lot of challenging times in my life, and I was just like, am I crazy? Like I would be having nobody, broke completely, and I just have to work hard for something that might work and might not work. I think that risk that we should take it, because you only know how capable you are when you really put yourself in the ocean and you learn how to sail.
A difficult question for you.
Yeah.
What did you fail at? Can you share a story that you really failed at and you said, oh my God, what am I going to do? Where do I go from here?
I think I fail every single day, and I think we all do. And I believe that success comes from those failures.
You are now an entrepreneur, but you're also sitting in various positions. Please share that part of your development?
Luckily, I'm somebody who pays a lot of attention, and I'm somebody who goes into details a lot. So one of our professors started talking about microeconomics, macroeconomics, and everybody found that class or that course super boring, right? Everybody was like yawning. And then the professor is talking about the capital markets, talking about the stock markets, talking about how corporates go from a primary market to a secondary market, and so on and so forth. And it was just to my professor, like, hold on, you said stock market, like anybody can be buying shares? He said, yeah, absolutely anybody. And I said, so it means I can also get a share of a company. I would love to get to Microsoft, you know?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, 100% you can. And at that time, I didn't really understand the mechanisms or how does it really work. But the fact that he told me that I can make money while I am sitting at home, it just did this to me. I said, 100%, why not? Let me explore it. So when I jumped in, of course, I'm coming from this, I'm super motivated and thinking, and in this field, you find a lot of scammers in between. So of course I feel for those a lot. I was listening, because when you are doing research and you are at a very early stage, you don't know how to filter. And I think filtering is super important in every single thing. So I would look at these guys, they're making millions and driving Lambos, and I'm like, yeah, me too, I can do it. And then these guys, they would tweet, let's say, they would tweet that, hey, trade this stock, and then you would get that. And I was in between what I was learning, my studies, and also what these guys are saying. So I'm like, okay, if this guy is showing me his mansion and showing me his Lamborghini, it means that he's right. It's better than this, right? So it was in between all of this chaos. And I think what made me realize what was the right path to take when it came to trading was to really try the two paths. Me listening to a guy, and then after a couple of days I would lose all of my money, or me really researching and try to find out my own formula.
You won an amazing award, for stock trading. Tell us about that. It was in 2014.
Yeah.
It was a few years ago.
Yeah.
What was that award, and what did you achieve to achieve that award?
I was trading a lot in the NASDAQ, and especially the NASDAQ Composite, and that's how I got the award of being I scored the highest ranks of trade in the NASDAQ Composite, and I got an appreciation award from NASDAQ itself, saying thank you for being the youngest one to trade those much of composites. The other side, I got another award by the richest for being the youngest millionaire, and I got that at the age of 23.
What is your passion in life? What do you get the most excited about?
I am driven by people. Okay. I love people. I love to work with people. I have had a lot of experiences that started making me feel super old from inside.
Okay.
So talking to you, I feel like I'm 50 years old.
Oh my God, maybe I'm a bad influence.
And yeah.
Okay.
So I'm passionate about people. I'm passionate about what I can do to other people. Whenever somebody asks me, let's say, they have a small account, and then they tell me, hey, I don't know what to do with this money. And then I tell them, here is what you can do with it. And then I find the results after, let's say, a couple of months or a couple of years. I just feel super warmed.
North Ladder is a sustainable environment. Can you share what it is and what it means to you?
So North Ladder is a reverse auction platform that's enable or capable for you to trade in your own devices on spot and get cash on the spot while being sustainable and supporting circular economy. So if today you do have, let's say, a phone, a tablet that you would like to sell, my platform is here to be able to give you cash on the spot.
let's imagine today is your 100th birthday, and we have just invited you to celebrate you.
I hope to live until
You will, and your kids will live to 150, and your grandchildren will live to 200. You know that aging is going to become a choice. And
You're the futurist.
I'm the futurist, I'm telling you. Aging will be a choice.
I don't think we were born in this life by accident to just live and pay bills and die.
Sure.
Right? So when I'm 100, when I'm celebrating my 100th birthday, I would love to see that I have really left huge legacy behind me where people are giving it to other people. Is what we call good deeds, right? I would love to know that I'm dying, leaving a lot of good deeds around me and people who are working for those good deeds. I think we have to really worry about the opinion of two. First, the 8 years old you, and the second, the 80 years old you. So my question to you is...
I can see a really tough question coming there already.
Do you still remember the 8 years old you?
Yeah.
And what is he telling to you right now?
My 8-year-old self was very optimistic, had the whole world in front of him. And I have always been a very optimistic, energized young person. And even now, at this stage in my life, I go back to my 8-year-old self regularly. I have young mentors at 11, 12, 13 that I talk to all the time. And Picasso said the same thing, is that he was asked, once he was 82, he was asked what would be his biggest wish, and he would say, I wish I could be an 8-year-old and draw like an 8-year-old again. Mm-hmm. So there are times when I think about my 8-year-old self and my 16-year-old self and ask myself the question, have I fulfilled all of the potential that I had? I don't believe I have, but I have enough time to go to my 80th birthday to be able to fulfill that. But I feel I have accumulated a lot of knowledge, experiences, learnings in my life that it enables me and puts me at the right trajectory.